the other thing I want to talk about, of course, was Drag Queen Story Hour. If y'all don't know what Drag Queen Story Hour is.
Story.
So
the story hour.
So it started out, the way I found out about Drag Queen Story Hour was I wanted to, like, I guess, prove my assumptions right. So I started Googling in a way that would lead me to the results I wanted, knowing that I was doing so, but at the same time realizing that then I'd planning to double fact check and see if I was just able to figure out the way things are in the world. So there's this terrorist attack that happened in North Carolina, these domestic terrorists shooting these power transformers, putting a lot of power out, putting lives at risk, domestic terrorists.
Somebody died.
Someone died as a result of it. I read.
Oh, fuck.
However it happened, and so I heard that there was also some people that were upset about some drag shows or something like that, and I thought that was weird because I don't know anybody who cares about drag shows. I remember that old movie with Wesley Snipes and a couple other guys, and it's called like Birdcage or something, and they're straight man drag queens, and it's a comedy. And like, I remember my dad watching that era, and we all had a hoot, and nobody thought that drag queens were like queers or like bad or something that was gross or anything. We thought it was like, I don't know, some kind of vaudeville, like comedy skit bit kind of thing. I don't know, something like that. And it cut from that cloth. But I kept digging, and I found the Story Hour, and I wanted to connect those two things. I'm not sure if I can though, because it does seem like those militia groups were marching in a place where it was going to be an adult drag show that night. And that's what the one group was marching about. When I saw the people
like a show for adults, you mean, right?
Yeah, a legitimate one. Yeah, like that. Nobody here gives a fuck about. Does it even ask what if we're for it? Is stupid. The real question is, do you even give a fuck? And the answer is no. Like, let them go dress in dresses and put on a show any time of night they want.
Everybody needs hobbies.
But Drag Queen
if you're
Story
reading
Hour
to
is something very
children,
different.
then there are people who are upset about that. There should be nobody upset about adults doing a show at 11 p.m. at night, which I guessed at. That's for grown-ups. It's not a
So
group
so while I do want to draw the line though between Drag Queen Story Hour and things like it and the shooting, because I think that's what's happened, because I think that what's been done to the kinds of people who might do something like that is they've been told that all of these drag shows have something to do with some QAnon Drag Queen Story Hour people. Zach, could you just Google search Drag Queen Story Hour images and then just show the whole page? Look at it first to make sure there's no like gamer words or actual nudity. On Google search, if you've got safe search on, there shouldn't be. On mine, there's certainly not. I'm looking at it now. But it is fucking wild what Drag Queen Story Hour looks like. It's a program where drag queens go and read to very small children in schools and libraries, and it has several times been infiltrated by and like you'll find stories that like debunk stories that say what I just said. But then you'll find more stories that are like sometimes what they've done is there was one guy but his organization was his own organization. And while he did fund the Drag Queen Story Hour, he wasn't a member per se. And they really want to let you know that if you start Googling about Drag Queen Story Hour, because it's important to him that his organization, which was called like the Cream Tower or something like that, yeah, that they're the ones who were just funded. They were just donating money to the Drag Queen Power Hour, Story Time Hour. He wasn't actually a member. He was one of the child cases. But then I saw in Texas there was an actual teacher who was reading at it just seems like a bad idea. I don't want my kid, my hypothetical fake kid, being read to by the drag queens. Why?
But it also seems like none of your business, and I'll say why. I'm looking at those kids. They look like they were 2.5 years old. They didn't get there by accident. They didn't get there by themselves. They weren't at schools. These were, as far as I can tell, at like events that parents took their kids to. to see this story time performance.
If that's true, I don't care.
If I'm right, yeah, that maybe I projected a truth on it that makes it a little more okay. If they're going to your kid's school and reading to the kids, then I'm like, no.
I think that's the case.
This should be opt-in. This should be opt-in, right? Parents should choose to take their kids to this thing. And then a situation like that, like I saw kids sitting on parents' laps in those pictures, then that's just whatever. Families doing it their way. And I'm kind of a, small government.
It's a big
guy.
organization all the way across the country, though. So I guarantee they're in schools at some point. I guarantee, because that's what I would have an issue with. Is like, guess what happened today? A lady with a beard read me a story about dicks. Wait, what? Oh no!
The whole story about dicks, start to finish.
Now I'm gonna be a dog boy. What? It's drag queen story time. Shit.
Now that's a fake beard.
No, it's not.
You can tell. Look at the line.
Don't be hating on that man's geometry.
He just squared up. That's racist, Taylor.
This is a fake fucking beard. I know. I've been to costume stores.
It looks like Khabib.
Taylor's
Come on, that's a real beard.
Just the least offensive thing we've ever said. That's a fake beard. And
this is like Al Capone and fucking tax evasion is what we just heard.
Yeah. They're gonna get me Capone style for that one. Technicality.
Man. I do. If they're coming to the kids, then I can see why people would be upset about that. If the parents are taking their kids there, then maybe you should just mind your own business. Not you, but like whoever's upset.
Yeah. My theory, though, about the shooting is that it's someone who has that their belief is that children are being targeted by drag queens, and they're hearing about these drag queens in their area, and they're doing this because of that. That's my theory, that they think that all of the drag queen shows are perhaps, I don't know, QAnon who read stories to children, and some of those gentlemen really were upsetting to look at them. To be honest, I would have a hard time paying attention to the story. I think that's my complaint.
I thought the arms dealer was sexier than the drag queens, but maybe that's just my preference. That mustache.
You're really obsessed with that man's mustache. I mean, he's been
dude blows.
But it's not supposed to be sexualized, any of this, right? Like, I know it's the first time I'm hearing about this, but I'll
sexualize any arms dealer I want to, and you can't.
Not you,
stop
Woody.
me.
I'm talking about the topic we're talking about. You do what you want with your sexuality, man. I'm not trying to police that shit. Right? So these books aren't sexual in topic, right?
No, they're probably reading like, fucking Mein Kampf or Animal Farm.
They're listening to Yi, is what you're saying?
They're indoctrinating them, I'm sure. No, I bet they're reading fucking Charlotte's Web and shit. I don't know. I really didn't look into it. I just saw like children being read to by men in dresses, and I suppose that was a funny image.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't seem. I kind of like Woody's take on that. It doesn't seem like much of a problem to me if parents are going, this is safe for my kid, and I'm happy to have them exposed to some alternate types of people. Sure.
Yeah, as long as they're child beauty pageants, then I got no problem with, like, if you want to sign your kids up for this reading hour as well. That's that's one of the worst things.
I'm with Kyle. The important thing is to protect the child beauty pageants.
God bless America. It's one of our traditions. We do it. No one else on the planet does child beauty pageants. Only
it's weird as fuck.
They've got ugly children, probably.
Well, they do, but at the end of them, they sell the children to men. Those are the only other child beauty pageants in the world. It's real gross and disgusting. Like I would have thought the JonBenet Ramsey thing would have killed that whole thing. It would have just been like, oh my God, of course no one does that anymore. Don't you remember that one little girl?
Maybe did it explode off of the back of that? I like to think it did.
That'd be gross if it did. That'd be so gross to find out.
Phrasing, Woody.
That exploded the back of JonBenet Ramsey.
Is that what I said? I don't know. I like it though.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But like, I always wonder about like where's the money when I see something like that, because sponsorship dollars kind of run everything. Like if it's not profitable, it doesn't get any play. How do those things get put on? Like who are the
Are we on the drag show or the child pageant?
Tonight's Little Beauties brought to you by Vaseline. Or like who's bringing you
Sponsored
night
by
of little beauties.
Astroglide.
Yeah, like who is it? Like by Jimmy John's attorney at law. She didn't tell your age. That's our motto, or like whatever the fuck. Like is it like child? Where's the money at in these things? Like how does it get put on? How are there enough parents? Because clearly parents are like wanting their kids to win the thing. Why? For a little crown and like a sash? It's gotta be a cash prize.
$200 to get in, and the winner takes the loser's money.
God, that'd be wild if you were making them pay.